Hello guys, welcome to the class. We will start today with the actual classes, right? So we'll start with chapter 1, the very introduction topic, that is, which is clearly mentioned in the syllabus, that is about meaning, scope, and so we have to go and understand the subject matter of chapter 1, which starts with meaning, scope, and development of anthropology. And we have already noted in our earlier discussions about the meaning, right? What exactly anthropology means, the study of humans, right? The study of man or science of man, and the various ideas that we generated, that these people are also, the anthropologists are also interested in studying the cultures, societies, and languages and other parameters of the humans. Everywhere, the same subject matter, right? And it all started as a basic human curiosity, the ever-present human curiosity about himself or herself. The humans were regularly asking questions about themselves, and we have to invoke the definition of anthropology by Aristotle. You all remember, right? What he says? Anthropologist is a person or is a gossip who talks about himself. Okay, so anthropologist is a gossip who talks about himself. That means that ever-growing curiosity, ever-present curiosity about humans to know about themselves is a starting point of anthropology. And we have noted in earlier discussions that what we are studying so many dimensions of humans. We have been studying the history of humans, engineering, medicine, art, science, everything. These we came to know that they are all part sciences, correct? Because anthropology is the only discipline in the entire disciplines to study the core of human beings. So what are at the core of human beings? Human biology, human culture, human society, human languages, and human, of course, in the past, human evolution. In the biology, we also study human evolution. And of course, today we are more interested in human genetics, DNA technology, and so many uses of DNA technology, etc. So in that way, anthropology studies humans in all the places and all times. And simply put, you can even write down another definition. What exactly is anthropology? It is nothing but the study of humans in time and space. The study of humans in time and space. Simple definition of anthropology is, it is a study of humans across time and space or in time and space. So, we have also noted earlier, anthropology studies humans across all places and all times. So, in space and time, space places, that is spatially and temporally. Tomorrow they can even pose a question. Anthropology is a study of humans temporally and spatially. Discuss. Temporally, timelines, time-wise, past and present. If possible, future, we can anticipate what is going to happen in the future. And also, the space-wise, spatially geographical spread. So, anthropology studies humans across time and space, and anthropology studies humans at all places and all times. And there are some more definitions you can see. For example, simple definition if you want to give, it is nothing but the study of man or humans in totality. Study of man in its totality. Can you get some sense of this word totality? What exactly we are trying to understand by the word totality? Totality. What is totality? We have used some other word earlier. 360 degrees, wonderful. 360 degrees discipline. Okay. And also another word, holistic discipline. Anthropology is such a discipline which studies humans holistically, completely. No other discipline studies humans so holistically. That means to study humans holistically, is that entire lifetime of ours, enough? Will it be enough for us to study entire humanity? But at least if you can study the entirety of the core of humanity, please write down. We can even go and become original every time. We are trying to, understand the entirety or totality entirety or totality of the core human features. What are these core human features? Not the, of course, not engineering or medicine or statistics, mathematics. ये सब होता है ना, rocket science, space. These are all there. These are also byproducts of human culture. If you ask, somebody asks, what is rocket science? You can say it's a byproduct of human culture. Yes or no? Culture means only not just dressing and food, etc. Even if you make a rocket also, it's a culture. Yes or no? That's it, simple. That means anything that is a byproduct of human activity is also a study of, the anthropologists. In fact, anthropologists also studied something in space. Exactly not exactly space science, but they have studied twins. There are twins. Twins, आपको सबको मालूम है? There are two types of twins, DZ twins and MZ twins. DZ twins means they come from, two zygotes fertilized by two sperm, two ova. Okay. And you all know the biological aspect of it. And there is another kind of twins called MZ twins. MZ matlab monozygotic twins. From one zygote, two individuals come. Usually MZ twins are only male or only female. Both are. In DZ twins or dizygotic twins, either it can be only male, two children are only male, two children are only female, or one male, one female. So yeah, see, these anthropologists are so curious. I told you that anthropological curiosity, right from Aristotle's time. Anthropologists are so curious to study how these MZ twins behave in space. If we separate one person here, put him in, study him or her on the earth and send another person on space, whether we can see any changes. Okay, so that means even anthropology has got to that extent. Anthropology of garbage, there is anthropology of garbage. Can you imagine that? Some anthropologists started studying the garbage generated by the humans. Is it like making any sense if somebody is studying garbage? Ye kya bakwas hai? So everybody studies the humans, but I told you, anything that is a creation of humans is also scope for anthropologists. So if you are generating garbage also, why don't we study that? The kind of different types of garbage. Like for example, see, earlier there were only two buckets, right? One blue bucket and one green bucket. Aajkal dekho 4 bucketon ka hai. Are you updated? These kinds of questions will definitely come in prelims. What are the different colors? He can ask confused to test your basic knowledge. Different colors of rich products. He can give match the following color and the garbage product. That means everything is an important study for this people. So anthropology is the study of man in his totality, not just the family, not just the marriage systems, kinship, and economic systems, political organizations, social control mechanisms, or even for that matter, their religion, their magical activities, their industries. There was anthropology of industrial development, industrial relations. Matlab, chalta jayega hai. Okay. So the core human features are already, I told you many a times, like marriage, kinship, family. It is all there in your syllabus. And what's a good name? साक्षी जी, अगर पॉसिबल है तो आपके पास सिलेबस है तो वंडरफुल, अदरवाइज यू कैन ओपन इन योर मोबाइल इफ इट इज देयर. Usually I have a practice of going to that syllabus topic and referring that so that you can feel ease. Now next, there was an anonymous book which was published in 1655, which was entitled Anthropology Abstracted. That was a title, Anthropology Abstracted, defined it, and that book defined anthropology as, what was the definition? History of human soul and human anatomy. Those days, imagine 1655. What can they will write only slightly philosophical thing. So human soul matlab, of course, is very difficult for us. Acha, can we, it is also looking very plausible here. There is a clue in your syllabus. Human soul, there is a mention of souls and spirits in some indirect method. Indirectly it is mentioned in your syllabus. Chapter 5, Religion, paper 1. Go and you'll find one topic called animism. You'll find that. Animism, animism is nothing but the study of souls and spirits. According to E.B. Tylor, there was one great scholar called E.B. Tylor, who is regarded as one of the pioneers of anthropology. Edward Burnett Tylor. This is L actually. Edward Burnett Tylor, T-Y-L-O-R. Edward Burnett Tylor is the one who said animism is the study of human souls and spirits. And do you think that some communities, worship souls and spirits? Have you ever come across? अच्छा कई movies में भी देखे होंगे और some people who sit for drinking. एक जो ग्लास का जो पेग डालने के बाद I'm just giving you that ordinary thing. They put this finger and ऐसा ऐसा करते हैं कुछ लोग. कभी देखे? Why they do that? They are giving that thing to their ancestral spirits. You got it? Because company नहीं है तो किसी का भी company हो रहा है तो spirit आके इसका साथ बैठेगा. At least drop तो पिएगा. That means there is a belief in spirits today. Imagine 21st century. So thousands of years back, what could have been the belief systems of people? Tylor is the one who said thousands of years ago, people started first of all believing and worshipping the souls which they can't see initially because they know something was existing. After death, the people will become souls and spirits. They will again take rebirths. In every major religion, we have this concept, right? Punarjanma. Even in Hinduism, it is there. Islam also, Christianity also believe that. Many religions. Punarjanam concept. That means the souls and spirits are there. So, देखो इधर भी आ गया ना? History of human soul and human anatomy. Anatomy तो आपको मालूम है? The biological parts. So we are interested in the biology. In what extent? Are we trying to study our hands and feet or what? Our face? That is a department of medicine. But what anthropologists are looking at? Any clue? Can you guess? Within the four walls of your syllabus, there is a clue in 1.4. Chapter 1.4 में clue है आपको. Even 1.5 में last topic है comparative anatomy. Comparative anatomy. So in that sense, we study anatomy. What is that anatomy? Not with our own, keeping us in the center. No, we are comparing that with our nearest cousins. Who are those? Apes, chimpanzees, gorillas, orangutans, gibbons, siamangs, etc. So that means this definition is also cool. It is all up to you. अच्छा ये सब जान के क्या करने वाले? Immediately you should put a question. Is this going to come in the exam? Every time, every day when you go to home, after the class, during the class, you have to parallelly think. अगर ये exam में कैसा लिखो? It all depends. This I call it as raw material. All these things which I say very important, you note down it as very important. Sometimes these kinds of things are extra. The initial definition was like this. Okay, you can begin your answer. Answer introduction can be anything. So initial definition of anthropology was published in a book which said anthropology is the history of human soul and anatomy. And another great person came. You can note down if you want. So we have got this name of R.R. Marett here, right? And who is R.R. Marett? He is the student of E.B. Tylor. E.B. Tylor's student, naturally he is also, but he has actually not given the credit to Tylor. Very interestingly, he has given a very, very interesting definition. He said, anthropology He is the child of Darwin. ये क्या हो गया भाई? ये डार्विन को तो आप सुने होंगे. Who is Darwin? Anybody can answer. Anthropology child है, उसने अडॉप्ट किया है, उसको पैदा हुआ क्या? Is he the real biological father of anthropology or adopted father? Sorry? Exactly. Theory of organic evolution he has given by a process of natural selection which will lead to origin of species. And to tell you what, an extraordinary thing has happened in the history of biology as well as anthropology in the year 1859. Any guesses? Of course, our Darwin sub is there in 1.4. Just check, Darwin is there. We studied Darwin a great deal. Without Darwin's theory of natural selection, our understanding of physical anthropology or biological anthropology is incomplete. Okay? So, it is nothing but the child of Darwin. Kaisa ho gaya? Because 1859 was a year in which the origin of species, which is a magnum opus of Darwin, was published. 1859 it was published. Okay. And what happened? Later the entire world has got extraordinarily excited. In which world? Especially the Western world and the enthusiasts, people who are enthusiasts, who wanted to actually collect evidences from different parts of the world by way of their hunting for fossils. What exactly Darwin said? We all came from apes. We are the descendants of apes. And he argued with the church. Church means all the Christian missionaries, Christian theologists, etc. That man has not been created in a day or two. In fact, he has evolved over millions of years. And he had got evidences. With that, he proved to the world that, look, we have been created, okay, according to your belief. But actually, according to science, because I am a scientist, and science believes that humans have been evolved. And since he also said further, Acha, from where we have evolved, he said, look, there are our nearest cousins, monkeys and apes. And he also said very clearly, Acha, how can you say, Mr. Darwin? He said, presently I don't have any evidence. You have to go and look at the cradle of entire human civilization. What is any guesses? There is one place, a continent, where you will definitely find our roots. Africa, brilliant. Africa, he pointed at Africa. Because he saw somewhere that connection between the black people, the Negroes and their features, and apes, of course, to all the due respect to them. But those days, imagine 1859, what kind of people might be thinking about the Negroes and all. Negroes were not given a great place then. So they were even one of the scientists, very unfortunately, has taken a Negro, a pygmy, put him in cage and exhibited in BRONX in New York, and said, look, this fellow, from him we came. He is our ancestor. He is like that ape. So such kind of denigration they used to make these black colored people. So whatever it may be, for us, the area of interest is Darwin was very much certain that something was happening in Africa, and that is the cradle of our civilization. Entire humans have originated from that, and he was absolutely right. 100% right. When did we came to know that? Only in 1970s. We had to wait till 1970s when fossils, what are fossils? Bones, which were actually buried inside the earth, were excavated, taken out and studied. Then we could find out that, yes, this person is our ancestor. So from then on, people got crazy. Naturally not. Now, RR Marat ko samjhe aap? Now, if you know the story behind the definition will go into your head directly. You need not mug up any definition. Are you getting this? So definitions are not to cram or, kya bolte usko? Mugged up. They have to be understood and appreciated. You appreciate that, automatically it becomes your part. So R.R. Marash's definition says anthropology is the child of Darwin. You remember the story, then you remember the definition. Next, we will have a look at something else. Have you noted all of this? Origin of species is magnum opus, means bada sa book. Very big book is called magnum opus. Oh, there are some other definitions given. What are the interpretations also? What exactly people said? For example, Radcliffe Brown, Mayer Fortis, S.F. Nadel. Now these scholars regularly, these two people, this person comes a great deal. Mayer Fortis comes to some extent in political anthropology. This person comes in chapter 6.6, and this person is relevant for us in chapter 4. Okay, and this person very less, but all these are called as British social anthropologists. Who are these? British social anthropologists. And these people said, anthropology is a natural science which studies human society, often using the methods of natural sciences. It's a natural science. What is a natural science? Just like in those days, in the 19th century, our Darwin was called as a naturalist. They were not called as scientists or botanists or zoologists. A naturalist, because they were studying the nature. They're trying to understand the nature. So anthropology was also trying to do the same. We're trying to understand the nature of humans actually. So nature of humans means natural science, because it takes the help of biology, zoology, botany, all the natural sciences. What are natural sciences? The science which are trying to unravel the mysteries of nature. Right? What are natural sciences? What is science? At any point of time, have we got a doubt? What is science? What is technology? Actually, we should go to those roads also. Bottle khali ho gaya. What is science? Have you ever questioned that? Science means it comes to know or knowledge. It comes from a root word, a Greek word called scientia. Ab likh lijiye. What is science? It comes from a root word called scientia in Greek, which means to know or knowledge. There are two words, two meanings for it. Either to know or knowledge. Science means just to know. How do you know? Because knowledge, nobody comes and explains. Either the teacher has to explain, or the person who wants to have a knowledge has to constantly raise questions. How, when, where, how, why, what happened, all that, right? We have begun the first day like that. How and where, when. So science also is like that. When you are raising so many questions and trying to understand the mysteries of universe and this earth, then naturally it becomes a science. And what is natural science? Anything related to nature and humans, because humans are also the creation of nature. Perfect. So it's a natural studies. It's a part of a natural science which studies human society. Number one, because they are social anthropologists. What they will be using? Naturally, the word society. For them, society is more important. Often using the methods of natural sciences. What are the methods of natural sciences? Naturally, inquiry, testing. जो भी सॉफ्टवेयर में वैसा उधर भी होता है ना, they test and evaluate, inquiring, evaluating, and substantiating, proving, substantiating, ये सब होता है ना, proof करते हैं, cause and effect relationship होता है, then only people believe. If Darwin said we have all come from apes and monkeys, he should prove no. So more or less he was successful. He gave proofs from different theories. Like for example, Alfred Wegener. Have you heard about him? Alfred Wegener. There is his Alfred Wegener का एक mention है in geography. We have undergone GS geography. In physical geography. Continental drift theory. Right? Yeah, that. So continental drift theory was also taken help of by Darwin. He gathered ideas from Herbert Spencer. He collected information from other scientists and put them to test. Then he showed to the world that look, we have evolved. So it is also natural science. Clear so far? Then there is a very, very popular book I suggest to my students. Start with this. Ember and Ember is a master book. Start with this and you will definitely get clarity on this. So what according to Ember and Ember anthropology, it is a discipline of infinite curiosity about human beings. I remember telling this right in the very beginning of this class, earlier also. It started as a question, an infinite curiosity. What is the word infinite? Infinite matlab kabhi rukne wala. There is no ending to this curiosity. Today we are all trying to do well and all. New problems are coming, new challenges are coming, climate change, terrorism and others and etc. etc. Again we are having new questions. Again we are trying to understand ourselves. Again we are raising this curiously. Everywhere this curiosity is up, going and going on, but it is never coming down. This curiosity is not allowing us to let down or letting us down. It goes on continuously. So in that sense, it's a discipline of indefinite curiosity of human, infinite. So we got already 3-4 definitions, right? Or 2-3 bhi hai. That means if we have 5-6 definitions, it is more than enough. If at all, if we want to use them and write, to tell you the smart way, right? Shall I tell you the smart way? Even without writing any definition also, you can write an answer. But if you write those authentic definition, the examiner knows that you know the subject. You're not writing something on some kind of, क्या बोलते हैं हम लोग गैस मारते यूनिवर्सिटी एग्जाम में कुछ तभी आया लिख देते last maybe I have done that, I don't know you have done it or not. Many times you don't know the answer, कुछ तभी माइंड में आ गया फटाफट लिख दिया. So there is a clear difference between an authentic answer and an ordinary answer. Okay, so these kinds of definitions will give you authenticity. If you can directly say that Darwin has said like that, or Ember and Ember have said like that, or according to Darwin, you can use that. According to Ratcliffe Brown, anthropology is like that. You can make it in your own words and write. It is called as the technique of warp and weave. आपके कपड़े को कभी ऐसा देखें आप? Open your kerchief or something to the light. Hold it to your light and you see. Is there no network or not? Something vertical, something horizontal. Vertical, horizontal. Have you seen that man working? जो काम करते हैं ना कपड़ों में, what do you call that person? Weaver. Yeah. Weavers do like this and do like this. Have you seen that? यूं करते. What exactly you are doing? Warp and weave. Warp matlab vertical. Weave matlab horizontal. You have to build your answer. That is a literary usage. That means you have to build your answer in such a beautiful manner that the examiner automatically is taken in own course. Using the technical words, using the definitions, but in your own words. Right? Clear so far? Chalo, aage chalte hain. So then we have got so much to actually speak about. And other definitions. What exactly are they saying? Out of all the sciences which study various aspects of humans, that means we are trying to single out anthropology. How unique anthropology is. Out of all the sciences which study various aspects of man, here of course man matlab humans also, anthropology is the one which comes nearest to being a total study of humans. Nearest to being called as a total study of humans. Total study of man. कौन बोल रहा है? An American anthropologist called Clyde Clochon. थोड़ा नाम थोड़ा typical रहेगा. An American anthropologist called Clyde Clochon. And his name will not come much except in this opening chapter. That's it. And earlier we have spoken about Ratcliffe Brown, etc. They'll be coming regularly. What exactly is this? Can you recollect something from the earlier slides? Totality. Exactly, totality. 360 degrees. Pura. Anthropology is the only study or science or discipline of humans which studies humans from all the angles, from totality. That is one definition. Another one, this I like extraordinarily. I love this guy. I don't know, somehow. If this, see, the best part of it is the study of man and his works. Man and his works क्या है भाई, मेरे को तो समझ में आना है. Can you take a guess? Anthropology. Now I will give you a clue. The answer is in the breaking up of the word anthropology. इसको break करो तो answer आएगा. इसको break करने पर क्या आएगा भाई? First day में बताया मैंने. This is made up of two words. Anthropos and logos. Anthropos means humans. Logos means study. So what you are studying? Humans. And what this person is saying? Human and his works. Agar imagine 4 lakh years ago, approximately 2 million years ago, 2 million years ago, there was an extraordinary thing that has happened in our lives. Today we would not have been sitting here and the camera recording, someone else is seeing live. Okay, we would not have been holding this water like this in a can or enjoying this extraordinarily civilized life unless, I don't know what is that great person, we don't even know his name. Usually man might have done. So initially man was using, because females were already busy taking care of the child. With all due respect to women, I'll explain that also. Initially there was clear division of labor between the sexes. Because there is the greatest dependency. Please write down the greatest. There was a greatest dependence of the human infant on the mother. Nowhere seen in the animal kingdom. If you take the infant dependency as a factor, it is perhaps the greatest. There is a greatest dependence of this human infant on the mother. Nowhere seen in the animal kingdom, except in humans. मतलब क्या है? That is the reason the human, have you seen the, I don't know, nobody can directly see the labor activity of a woman. With how difficult it is, like many women die in this. It doesn't happen with animals. वो डिलीवर करते immediately लेके निकल जाती है, बच्चा भी 2 सेकंड के बाद उठकर चलते जाता है. Have you seen this? National Geographic channel देखो. At the most the mother kicks that fellow. चल करके मारता है. Does it happen in humans? To come to a kind of sensible age, this fellow will at least have to come up to 6 or 5 years of age. Till that the mother cannot leave the infant. समझ में आ रहा है? So that is the one, why that is the reason I have said that there is a greatest dependency of this infant on the mother, nowhere seen in the animal kingdom. So naturally what will happen? Who is a breadwinner? Who goes out? Who does all the experiments in the world? The man, the father. Because already family like, by those times, family like institutions were there. Maybe they have not married or something. Marriage has happened. Sorry, marriage has not happened. But they were living like a mated pair. MATED. Please write down all this. I told you there is a technique you have to develop. Without losing the eye contact, write the essential thing. Of course, you have the great technological benefit. You can go back home and see the video and write notes. But if you do this here itself, half of the preparation is done. क्या बोल रहा था मैं? What was I saying? Sometimes एक बार टक बोल के चिप इधर हीट होके गर्म होके चिप बंद होता था. So much is there right here. What will happen? The father, the man is the one who is responsible for that. And because these two are mated pairs, mated pair, that sexual union makes that man and woman live together. This has been seen in apes also. In apes also, in other smaller animals also. एक बार कुत्ता कुतिया भी दिखते हैं कुछ दिन, पता नहीं आप ऑब्जर्व किए कि नहीं. Out of so many, the bitch and the other dogs, male dogs. I'm actually making sense, huh? Nothing, no chit chat masala. मेरे क्लास में थोड़ा फन के लिए मारते हैं, लेकिन this is not the way actually I teach. But the idea is, even in the smaller animals, in the other animals, we see this mated pair. So naturally, humans have established this small, family-like institution. though marriage has not yet, noticed in earlier human beings, there was family-like or mated pair that was noticed, which ensured that the infant rises in full security of the mother, immediately father, and later immediately the immediate social atmosphere. So everywhere, the point is, the human infant cannot be delivered so simply. The birth canal is so difficult. The journey out of that is very difficult. So it has taken humans to experiment with the hands. So many tools were made about 2 million years ago. That 2 million years ago, tools which are found in Olduvai Gorge, please write down, there were first tools that were made by humans in Olduvai Gorge, Africa, East Africa. Olduvai, I'm writing here. Olduvai Gorge, East Africa, where stone tools were made of about dating to between 2 to 2.5 million years ago. Be very clear, huh? You have to write million years ago, 2.5 million years ago. And from then onwards, there was no looking back. Humans had got no chance of worrying about their futures. Olduvai Gorge, Olduvai, Olduvai Gorge, East Africa. East Africa is the place where we found stone tools which are clearly handmade, man-made. थोड़ा मतलब और interest आ रहा है ना? That is how this discipline is designed. Extraordinary discipline. Actually, if you imagine 25 lakh years ago, if you would have been in Africa, कैसा होगा? Wow, मजा आएगा. It's extraordinary. Nowhere, no discipline studies all this. Only anthropology. That is a guarantee I can give. No other discipline. Archaeologists also study this, but archaeology also is subsumed under anthropology. You see 1.3? See what it is written? Archaeological anthropology. In 1.8, we study entirely archaeology. In paper 2, 1.1 to 1.3, we study Indian archaeology. All the stone tools, bone tools, cave paintings, all those which were made in India, we will study from 1.1 to 1.3 in paper 2. So that is how we go about. Okay? So now we know why Herskowitz, his full name is Herskowitz. This fellow is also an American anthropologist. Herskowitz, the student of Franz Boas, he said clearly that, look, anthropology is simply the study of man and his works. That means if you study humans' works, you will understand man. If you want to understand man, you have to study his works. सही है कि नहीं? If I write something, my handwriting, my signature, you can understand. Handwriting specialist like कहीं मेरा एक छोटा सा डायरी मिल गया crime scene पे या something is आजकल देख रहे हो ना forensic वाले web series. I like those anyhow. The horror things. ये जो होता है horror नहीं, sorry, that what is that? Yeah, thrillers, murder stories, forensic stuff. बहुत मजा आता है मेरे को. In that, handwriting analysts are there. By your handwriting, they can analyze what kind of a person you are. Whether this writing and that writing are same. So man and his works, even if I write something, they can make out my culture, my background, my thinking. Right? Are you getting this? This is the beauty of this definition. Next. Anthropology is both a humanity and a science. एक ऐसा हो सकता है? According to Eric Wolf, he is also a student of Franz Boas. मैंने बताया ना Franz Boas कल के दिन is single-handedly established anthropology as a great discipline with the establishment of the Department of Anthropology in the Columbia University. Please write down Franz Boas, known as the father of ethnography or American anthropology. You have to write American anthropology. Father of American ethnography or father of American anthropology has single-handedly established the discipline of anthropology in America very strongly, has single-handedly established the discipline of anthropology in America very strongly, successfully by setting up a department of anthropology in Columbia University. किसी को मालूम है कहाँ है वो? Recently also I've seen in one movie. No, it's a Tamil movie, I think, dubbed movie. Both, no, not in an interview. One of the heroines of Telugu industry, she is a North Indian, acted in Telugu movies. She has gone, resigned herself from the movies and done masters in Columbia University. She was proudly holding that degree and showing in the background. Columbia University is in New York. New York पूरा मतलब इतना बड़ा skyscrapers है. In the middle you find that more than 200-year-old Columbia University. In that, anthropology department was strongly established by this great man, Franz Boas. One of his students is Eric Wolf. And what he says, anthropology is both a humanity and a science. Now let us again come to these two definitions. What is a humanity and what is a science? Now you all know what are humanities. You can see chapter 1.2. You have a syllabus copy with you? Did they give? Every day I have to tell them. Or you can just share the place with him, no? He's got the copy. Paper 1, chapter 1.2. See that? Anthropology and its relationships with other disciplines. Humanities, देखो उधर है कि नहीं? Humanities. Yes. And life sciences, earth sciences. Science. It's a humanity and science. Humanities में क्या क्या आते हैं? Arts, history. अब जो बोलते हैं ना humanities. Oh, are you from arts or humanities or are you from science or humanities? पूछते हैं ना हम हमारे यूनिवर्सिटी में. So it is a humanity. That means it studies human philosophy, human art, human literature. All these come under humanities. Yeah, naturally anthropology to some extent studies humanities, but it's also science. And what kind of a science? What kind of a science anthro is? Any guesses? Now in the same 1.2 there is an answer. Anthropology and its relationship with other social sciences. देखो other मतलब other है कि नहीं word? Other social sciences मतलब anthropology is also basically social science. Political science, economics, and psychology are other social sciences. What is a social science? थोड़ा धीम मैं बोला ना, this is our style. We have to go like this way only in the initial days. Otherwise, it is like, or should I, same thing I've told you, like muscle building exercise in a gym. That's it. You can't rush. So what was I saying in that day? Social science, matlab, any science which studies the society of humans, social angle. Of course, there is also another discipline called sociology. Sociology and many, I told you earlier also, they both are twin sisters. Who are twin sisters? Sociology and anthropology. Some subject matter is common to both these disciplines. Be very clear. These both are social sciences and both are what? Twin sisters or twin disciplines or sister disciplines. You have to write this also initially. Later you don't require this. Because why it is so? Because they share the content. They also study human family. They also study human kinship. They also study marriage. Of course, they add divorce. We don't study divorce. Sociologists study divorce. And they only are predominantly interested in the urban societies. Be very clear here. This is a study of the Western societies, mostly highly complex societies, urban societies, Western societies, complex, urban, and Western societies. Basically, that means including the westernized part of India. The poor and the rural part of India is ये दोनों बांट लिए दोनों subject matter. कौन कौन बांट लिए? India को. India में there are, they say no, broadly there are two Indias. Bharat, that is the rural India. India, that is the the urban India. कभी सुने? India is of two types in India today. It has got two components. One is the rural India called the Bharat, according to some scholars. The urban India called the India. They use only the word India. वहां जो हो गया भारत. ये क्या है? The way we see that. So here, there is a westernized part in India, like we are all the city bred fellows, like me, and you also majorly, I think. And the other complex developed Western world, Americans and all. Who studies them? Sociology. And what anthropology does study? Simple societies. Anthropologists study predominantly simple societies. Who are the simple societies? The tribal and peasant societies. Basically, tribal and peasant societies. ये सब आप compulsory लिख लीजिए. Every part on the board you should have in your book. It becomes a rock solid foundation for you. Tomorrow your reading speed of the notes and content will be extraordinarily speedy because of this basics. चलिए ठीक है, राइट? चलो हम आगे बढ़ते हैं. And you know all this. अच्छा, whenever I am giving something extra, that means the idea is to create the mode, not just otherwise. मेरा काम है easy भी हो सकता है. I can just be restricted to only these words, but it looks so mechanical, half-hearted, and अपना आपका जो interest जो उभर के आना है वो नहीं आएगा. This will look like very bland kind of a thing, very abstract idea. And if you read books just like some materials on your own, the same thing will be created. There is no explanation within this. For example, I was talking about Olduvai Gorg. Unless you connect Olduvai Gorg with this definition, this is incomplete. This is the idea, right? Chalo, hum aage badhe, everyone. Great. And I guess it is done. Yeah, what was anthropology like in the beginning? These are all the way I have questioned and made the slides. So unless you understand the background, you can't appreciate the present. Now, how it all began? For example, it developed as I told you, an area of curiosity. The humans were questioning about themselves. And initially, when the Westerners came into contact with the non-Westerners. I gave you the example of one movie. What was that movie? Immediately जाके देखने को बोला, पता नहीं, at least you can run on 1.5 or 2.5 speed. I don't know 2.5 speed है कि नहीं. There is that Mel Gibson's movie यार. Apocalypse. Apocalypse में ये दिखता है. Last में the white fellows are coming on that big ship, and the hero is about to be killed, and everybody looks at the ship like that. So white men coming in contact with the other non-Western cultures. So there was a big culture shock. These people are stark naked. What is a shock like? When do you become shocked? We are clad completely in full white or some other cloths. These people never had any clothing. Culture shock. होता है कि नहीं? Even if you go to Andamans today, have you seen some YouTube videos on Joravas? Our mostly Indian people and some others going and giving money to this women of Joravas and some others, not Sentinelists, who were very sorry to say, it's a fact. No? Truth is very, very bitter. You have to take that bitter pill. Anthropologists are the ones who take this bitter pill regularly. The women dancing half naked. These people are giving money and biscuits and all to them so that they dance and 500 or 250 rupees. Jo bhi hai le lene. And they are dancing and going away. And they are not allowed. That is that side of the barrier. The women are there. The women can't come here because there is a barrier erected. They are like seen as zoo animals by our people. That's the reason Supreme Court of India declared this entire area as into with a 5-kilometer buffer zone, so that all the regular mainstream people, our people like us from cities, etc., go and give them. हम भी जाते हैं ना zoo में जाके animals को देते हैं popcorn, biscuit, zoo animals को खिलाते, देखे ना आप? The same way we are treating them, and that is because they are half naked. Actually, when these people came into contact with them in 15th century, 16th century, when the trade routes were discovered, sea routes were discovered, when they ventured out of Europe and landed in Asia, Africa, Australia and America, most of them were found full naked. You can't even it's like a shock. My God, what people are like this? And they're not understanding anything. They're looking like very different colored people. Their hair is different. Their noses are different. Are they actually humans? These people started questioning. That's the reason I told you in that Bronx Zoo, one of the anthropologists have erected that pygmy in that cage. You know how the chimpanzees are all put in cage and shown to the people like a tamasha. So people used to treat them as these people as savages. Initially they were called as savages. What is savage? Savages? Animals. Initially they thought these are all animals, human-like animals. And they spoke a very different language. You don't understand how to treat with them. So it was a culture shock that results. And resulting from the first culture contacts. This is the first contact of the Western people, Westerners, with non-Westerners. Where? Now you have to be very clear. Again questions. In Asia, Africa, Australia and America. You all know, even Australia was the last continent to be colonized. Earlier, before Australia में कौन थे? Australian aborigines. Please write down all this. It's very, very important. And America में कौन थे? Red Indians, American Red Indians. Australia was inhabited by the Australian aborigines before the Europeans discovered Australia. Captain James Cook, पढ़े ना history में? James Cook. And who discovered America? Columbus. And you know what has happened? And as an accident, actually America was discovered as an accident. He wanted to come to India because India was a land full of spices and gold. These fellows became greedy, and to do some trade, they came to India. They wanted to come to India, but accidentally they have gone and landed in America. And when they have seen, these people are all red in color. Red matlab, not purely red, reddish in color. These European fellows are white in color. And according to Columbus, he heard that Indians are dark in color. Yes, so ye red ka ke hoge? Chalo, say this. Let us call them as Red Indians. Since I wanted to discover India, koi na koi mil gaya aadmi to theek hai. So let us call them as Red Indians. And then onwards, the word Red Indians and American Indians became common. And when we go to America, work there or study there, we are simply called as Indians. Indian Indians or brown Indians, not as American Indians or Red Indians. Those are different. I will show you some photographs also in chapter 6. When we talk about culture and personality school, chapter 6, there was a scholar called Ruth Benedict. She and 2-3 Red Indians pose a photograph with her. So I'll show you who are red Indians. ठीक है, तब तक we clearly understand this is a matter. And Asia was it discovered by anyone else like that? Asia को कौन discover किया? कोई है historical example? Asia was in long back ago. Even Africa, they were called as old worlds. Asia, Europe, and Africa. All these three continents are part of the old world. And what is a part of the new world? South America, North America, and Australia. New world bolte na, new world. These are the new world. Later discovered by Europeans. And Europeans were already in touch with Asians and Africans. Egypt was already there. So Africa was known to them. India mein already spices, gold, trade ho raha tha. Indus Valley civilization, people were there. So the new Indians, or sorry, the Asians already. There was no one separately discovered Asia. Clear. Then coming to other stuff. It was a general field of inquiry that is called as ethnological or folk societies. Initially, that means this was in approximately 14th or 15th century. This happened in 15th century. And here, as a general field of inquiry, developed in 18th and 19th centuries. Started, of course, through even today also. Acha, till 21st century, you have to write through 20th century. Through 20th century till 21st century. That means anthropology started becoming as a discipline. If you guys remember, in the first day, I told you anthropology was of two kinds. Broadly, we can see that. One, as a general area of inquiry, just like to know about ourselves, and a serious discipline. थोड़ा difference दिखता है आपको दोनों में? If somebody is calling something as only an area of interest, like you go to a place, tourist place, and you find some tribal, you take photographs or just speak to them and come back, only for 4 or 5 days. But if you are going there and settling yourself down, studying them deeply, writing books and making videos, etc., and you are giving to the world that knowledge, is there a difference? Yeah. The second one is called as serious discipline. The anthropology as a subject or an area like serious discipline has developed only from 18th century onwards. पहले क्या था? 15th century and all, it was just like area of inquiry. That's a serious, just inquiry, not serious inquiry, not serious study. Here you write serious study or regular study or a full discipline. Full discipline. But here it was only just a inquiry. That's it. Just an inquiry. Just a curiosity. Just what are these people to know? That's it. And come back. And initially, the discussions about these simple people were given. Achha, there were in 18th and 19th century, several scholars started, talking about these people, tribal people and simple people in Asia, Africa, etc. Like for example, Tyler. We have got the names here. Tyler, Morgan. Then we have got Fraser. These people used to talk about these simple people who are living in different parts of the world, right? In some societies. What are these societies named? Ethnological or folk societies. That means these people are Westerners, but what is their main matter of discussion? या किसके बारे में बात कर रहे थे वो लोग? These simple people. What was the basis for them? On which whose basis they were speaking about? Again, 15th century, जो वहां से लेकर 15th century to 18th century, जो भी होता है ना, travelers, missionaries, voyagers, businessmen. Achha, these people had a different different aim. So, for example, a businessman goes to a different place, in a different continent. Now, trade routes are discovered. Businessman is going, he meets some from tribal people, etc. He takes this thing, he writes or 2-3 lines. Then, these were the basis of these scholars. ये जो भी knowledge आया ना, these people used to take this knowledge and discuss them in this ethnological and folk societies. Initially, something should be ऐसा एक discipline ऐसा कैसा पैदा हो सकता है without the body of knowledge. Are you all following? कुछ confusion आ रहा है? Even if you have an iota of doubt, you can stop me and ask again. I'm going to explain. Not a problem. Clear so far? So how a discipline develops, it should have some basis. No, if you just go and come and see some, new people and write something and come back, it will never become a discipline. These were called as accounts or descriptions by the travelers, voyagers, businessmen, missionaries. Missionaries matlab malum, Christian missionaries who are going to convert the others. That was their target. And all these people, whatever they have written, small accounts, were collected by the scholars like Tyler, Morgan, Fraser, and discussed in the evenings or whenever they found time in the folk societies or ethnological societies. From then, some people developed interest. Okay, we also should study them. Thus came a great breakthrough. Then in 1898, an extraordinary thing happened. In 1898, something called as Torres Straits expedition took place. Where are Torres Straits? You can try from your geographical knowledge. You can Google if you want. This is, see, everything if I say that will not look correct. No? You can also take some interest. Where is Torres Straits, or where are Torres Straits located? Any idea? Above Australia. So above Australia क्या है? देखो एक बार. If you just recollect in your general understanding, above Australia there are so many groups of islands, small islands in the Pacific. Exactly, New Guinea, Micronesia, Melanesia, and Polynesia. Correct? Your geographical knowledge abhi kaam aata hai. So in those, there are thousands and thousands of people who are living in very simple level. Some are outside like they never wore any clothing. They were still using bows and arrows. They were hunting with spears. They were living on hunting and gathering. आपको मालूम है hunting and gathering कौन करता है? Even today there are people living like that. They just hunt, and if you see National Geographic or Discovery, some documentaries, you'll find these pygmies in Africa, Bushmen in Africa, Kalahari Desert. Even today, living like in the hunting and gathering level. So इन लोगों को देखने के बाद, these people started writing and all. So some British scholars from Cambridge University, it was fully named as actually CAETS, Cambridge Anthropological Expedition of the Torres Straits. Write down the full name. Cambridge. Which one? Nomads. Any nomadic population come under, usually, if they follow hunting and gathering, yes. But some nomads are pastoralists also. Chapter 3 में देखिए, there is a word called pastoralism. These nomadic people, मतलब क्या है? उनका कोई घर नहीं है. They don't have बंजारा, ऐसा बोलते हैं ना, बंजारो लोग. They don't have any settled lifestyle. They don't have any buildings, etc. They just go from place to place. They are nomadic. In these nomads, there are two types of people: hunters and gatherers, and pastoralists. तो उनका पूरा बकरियां, भेड़, बकरियां कोई भी है लेके जाएंगे. Then they will go to another place, live there. Again, after some time, come back. They go to this place, that place. They'll be completely moving around the big region. So these people are called pastoralists. So what I'm saying, when this Cambridge anthropological, full name लिख लीजिए आप, Cambridge Anthropological Expedition of the Torres Straits, Cambridge Anthropological Expedition of the Torres Straits happened in 1895, led by A.C. Haddon. There were three great scholars. Immediately you may not understand anything. कोई गल नहीं. अरे मेरे को भी थोड़ा बहुत पंजाबी आता है. कोई गल नहीं, करेक्ट है ना? कोई टेंशन नहीं. W.H.R. Rivers, and Seligman. These are the scholars and their students who for the first time went on an expedition from a western society. Cambridge मतलब किधर है? लंदन में. Cambridge से होके एक शिप में they have traveled to Australia. Can you imagine, thousands of miles on sea to discover what is the lifestyle of these people? This is the great first breakthrough that has happened in the history of human times. On a sea voyage, on a land it has happened earlier also, but on a sea, crossing the seven seas and going into a different continent and a different ocean, a group of anthropologists from Britain leaving to the world to know about their society, the other societies, other cultures, first hand. Because all earlier क्या होता था? 1898 कहाँ गए भाई? कौन सा सेंचुरी है? 19th century. And people were just discussing. Discussion से क्या होने वाला है? Unless you go and see, no, what exactly is this? And even before that, these people saw them, but these people were not anthropologists. These people were just only enthusiasts. अपना काम करते करते साइड में से कुछ देख लिया. हम लोग भी जाते ना, we go tourists like tourists. Which we regularly go to temples, etc. Then see someone, then take a photograph. That's it. We don't do anything. That's not anthropological. It's only enthusiasm, curiosity. That's it. Now you are getting that into the depths of the subject slowly, gradually. So 18th century only, initially folk societies were there. 19th century onwards, a great deal of, already 1859, one major milestone happened from the biological side. Biological side क्या हो गया 1859 में? Publication of Origin of Species, the great book of Darwin. 1898, another great thing happened. This Torres Straits expedition. So that was on the biological side. This was on the social cultural side. Why it is on the social cultural side? Because these people were interested in not the body color or the size or shape. No, they were interested in their language, the simple society's language, their social norms, okay, their family, the family structures, etc. उनका भी family हमारे जैसा है या दूसरा है, right? And marriage patterns, kinship, etc. So ये सब subject, आपका subject में किधर है? Social cultural में है. So 1859 laid the foundations of anthropology in the biological domain, the publication of Origin of Species. In 1899, something great happened called Kate's or Anthropological Expedition to Torres Straits, which laid the strong foundations for social cultural anthropology. And from then onwards, people started, again, look at this beauty. This Torres Straits expedition was not months and months they stayed. No, few weeks they stayed. It is like these are better than the tourists, but not complete anthropological study. बहुत important, याद रख लीजिए. This only lasted for few weeks because the purpose of them was to only know the basic idea, not deeper idea. At least somewhat anthropological basis was laid down by this expedition. Tomorrow, if the examiner is very cruel like me, he may even give a Torres Straits expedition, right? Very distant chances. But अगर ये दिए तो people may say, sir, surprise आ गया, out of syllabus आ गया. No, in fact, it is the right thing. Because it has laid the foundations of anthropology so deeply. Then the students of these people started going into the societies staying there for months and years, then do the anthropology properly. That happened only in the 20th century. Come 20th century, that's the reason I've written. It has started from 18th, 19th century through 20th century till 21st century, then till today also it is going on. But 20th century में ही हुआ एक जबरदस्त development. What is that? 20th century saw complete immersion of these anthropologists in the other societies. Completely. These people not just for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 1 month, no, for years together. Complete immersion हो गया था इनका. किधर? Complete involvement. Immersion थोड़ा ज्यादा लगेगा. Complete involvement, right? Of what? Whom? Complete I want you to stay with me, guys. Otherwise, I feel that I'm giving you a big pain. I don't know. I am a person who feels like that. थोड़ा thin skin वाला हूं मैं. Complete involvement of whom? Of anthropologists in the study of the other societies. Which are these other societies? Non-Western societies in Africa, Asia and Australia. Clear? Involvement of क्या लिखना इधर? Anthropologists. Complete involvement of anthropologists in the study of other societies in Asia, Africa, America and Australia. अभी 21st century में क्या है? We are highly advanced. We are using technology. We are using statistics. We are using genetics. All the advancements which happened in other fields. Anthropologists are doing a great work in a different platform. I mean, we can't say, again, we can't reinvent the wheel. We need not reinvent the wheel. But today, or even in the end of the 20th century, it was something like this. For example, you are the first anthropologist. You have gone and studied Andamanis, right? Your name is Ratcliffe Brown. And you are another scholar. After 20-30 years, you go to the same Andamans and study them, whether these people have changed a lot or not. These kinds of beautiful things happened in 20th century end and 21st century beginning. So today, anthropology is like that. Now, are you able to see the entire picture? So we'll just stop it here for a 5-minute break. Chale guys, we'll go ahead and I hope you have noted all these points. Now you can ask your question so that the other people also can listen. In the future. In the future, we can't predict, but at least by any conjecture, there is a word we use in anthropology. Conjecture bolte hain. Whatever material evidence we have, whatever understanding we have, based on that, if we can recreate the future, we might become more bent. Our already text-neck syndrome has come. No, our will be like this, and our all athletic abilities will come down. People will become more obese. Knee joint problems already many people are suffering from. Youngsters as well. Low back pain, cervical spondylosis. Teeth will become less useful, and we don't know. This head may come down like this. Brain size will expand like this. We are becoming more smarter and smarter, but weaker and weaker healthily, physically. So this might be the picture. We don't know. From this, a new species will emerge, and this species will be found in Mars and other parts of the space. Huh? We will discover again. Those people will discover our fossils. They'll be lying in this thing unless we are cremated. If we are buried, whosoever is buried, they will take, okay, these people look like this. They are this 1350 cc cranium. Karke, they will be doing research. Upper? It is likely. Because the way we are going in forward, I mean, if you see the number of gadgets we have comforts. अब क्या है देखो कहीं भी अपना बॉडी से पसीना आ रहा है unless we do exercise पसीना कहीं आता है unless I'm stuck in Delhi heat or some monsoon time or severe summer, otherwise we don't sweat. That means we are not doing the physical activity. In one video I'm going to share with you in future the links. We'll form a group, I told you, maybe today or tomorrow it will materialize. I'll share in those groups one video, one documentary, which runs for about 1 hour 50 minutes. In that we see home erectors are finding a hunt, and they have come out of their whatever small homes or whatever homes, caves, etc. 5 days earlier, 5 दिन से घूम रहे हैं, एक भी नहीं मिला उसको. Now imagine us in that. They don't even have a small piece of fat on their body. They are very tall and strong, and they are highly athletic. They are starving from inside, but they are still struggling to find the hunter. Actually, this is thoda sa masala zyada ho gaya. Fir bhi, that means people lived in that hunting and gathering lifestyle, where there is no guarantee that you get an animal every day. But luckily, that animal became lucky; it escaped, and again you have to do the same thing again and again. That is the reason agriculture was invented. Are you getting this? Again, we'll study that. Recently, there was a question in 2021. This could write a note on early agricultural communities in the Neolithic, in the Middle East. So beautiful this thing here. I can't even say more. Such an extraordinary journey we have. हमने बोलते ना तय किया, इतना beautiful journey तय किया. We have evolved and we are still evolving. We might become a different species altogether, or rather, Homo sapiens will be there. One branch will be leading to another thing. We become extinct, and that fellow will go forward. We might become extinct. I don't know for what reasons. Maybe some bombs will come and fall on us, or we end up in some sixth mass extinction. There are in the entire history of life, there are 5 mass extinctions. Just type that and see that. Write down in your book. 6th mass extinction. No human causes it. Some naturally created forces will lead us to 6th mass extinction. Complete humanity tabah ho jayega. No bomb, kahin bomb फेंकने की जरूरत नहीं है. Automatically nature will take care of it. Perhaps that is the reason every religion talks about this. Creation, destruction, creation again. Right? Every major religion बोलते ना कि इस्लाम में बोलते हैं something like कयामत आ जाएगा. Something again will create. And even in Judaism or Christianity it is there. Even in Hinduism there were like creations and creations of God. Every time the God is coming, that means something is happening to the humanity. Humanity will become extinct again. Some more humans will form, cover this planet. So that is a very interesting thing to actually assume. So let us go forward. If whatever हमारे पास जो है, तो ये सब हो गया. Already we have covered this. What is this infinite curiosity of human beings? So it is this infinite curiosity which is never ending about human life in every format. Life means human life in every facet. So in every facet मतलब every angle. हर कोण से हम लोग हर दृष्टिकोण से इसको देख रहे हैं. We are not trying to leave any stone unturned. Anthropology, अब कितना बढ़िया सा quotation आते हैं यार, एक बार मजा आता है. Anthropology is such a discipline which doesn't leave any stone unturned. No stone unturned in its quest for. Please write down. Anthropology is such a discipline which never leaves any stone, any stone unturned. UNTURNED. Any stone unturned in its quest for. Unturned in its quest. QUEST. Quest matlab questioning. Quest for the truth about human life in all facets. The quest for truth in human life in all facets. So this infinite curiosity is about, now what are the facets? I told you human biology and evolution. Our body, how this body has come about. In this biology, we talk about bipedalism, how from quadrupedalism we became Bipedal animals. You know what is bipedal animals? Biped, two. Ped means legs. We are having, of course, these are also appendages. These are also limbs. These are called FORE, four limbs. These are called HIND, hind limbs, technically. But we call them as legs and hands. But for quadruped animals, char, पैरों में चलते हैं ना. For quadruped animals, all are limbs with almost equal size. So this very conversion of us from four-legged animals lifestyle to bipedalism is in itself a great step forward. Bipedalism is a great leap forward. You can write down. Bipedalism is a great leap forward in human evolution. Discuss. Question. So every statement can become a question. It's a great leap forward. Now how it becomes a great leap forward, we'll discuss in that chapter. Okay? In human evolution. So अगर मैं examiner होता तो ऐसे questions देता. I'm more sadistic, of course. I'm just joking. So because these kinds of statements will bring out the originality in the student. जो copy paste नहीं हो सकता है. ऐसा question दिया ना, कोई भी copy paste answer नहीं लिख सकता. From the so-called notes, from the so-called materials, or some textbooks. Great leap forward in human evolution. This is how it is. Okay? And in human biology, we talk about evolution, human variation, human, I told you, genetics. In society, we were talking about human family, social cultural part. We are talking about human family, human kinship, human marriage, kinship, economic systems, political systems, religion, magic, everything. And in human science we are talking about all the technology, DNA technology, genetics, ये भी genetics से जुड़ा हुआ है, and everything. Then again in tribal people, simple societies. Tribals in India, for example, simple societies matlab tribals in India, Indian tribals, etc. So we are trying to understand the entire facet of human life. Till that means this curiosity is never ending. Tribals को हम लोग समझ पाते हैं अपने जिंदगी में? No. That means since we have got almost 75 years. How many years happened? Independence से आए हुए 75. They are doing Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, right? 75 years. In this, how much life has changed for the tribals? Maybe in another 25 years also, more or less the same problem might be there. I am thinking, not in a negative manner, but seeing the way things are happening, with what speed they are happening, I am making this statement. Okay, as there is this infinite curiosity goes on. Sorry. Next. What is the subject matter of anthropology? Anthropological studies it actually studies the emergence and development of humans. अभी बताया ना, emergence of humans from the physical, cultural and social points of view, according to D.N. Majumdar. Who is this D.N. Majumdar? Yesterday I gave a book name, Introduction to Social Anthropology. One of the Indian anthropologists who became a stalwart. He is the first product of the Calcutta University Department of Anthropology, which was established in 1920. Please write down 1920. In that, the anthropological department was established in Calcutta University. So D.N. Majumdar was the first product. Product matlab first student who became famous from this first batch of anthropology students. And who are the teachers? The other scholars I gave you, S.C. Roy, ये सब great people, L.K. Ananta Krishna Iyer, K.P. Chattopadhyaya. L.P. Vidyarthi is a student of D.N. Majumdar. ये थोड़ा 1960s का आदमी है. D.N. Majumdar 1930s 40s का आदमी है. ना S.C. Roy 19th century का आदमी है. S.C. Roy, L.K. Ananta Krishna Iyer, KP Chattopadhyay. These are all the teachers in Kolkata University. Huh? Iravati Karve is again in 1940s. She is a lady scholar. She's from Maharashtra. She studied in German universities. Came back to India. She is a student of Ghurye. You will be getting confused. अभी थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. फिर भी GS Ghurye करके एक great person है. He was again instrumental in Bombay University. He was the head of the Department of Sociology in Bombay University. He mentored several students like M.N. Srinivas, then this great lady, Airavati Karve, everyone. So, jo bhi ho. So, what I am trying to say is, this D.N. Majumdar is one such great scholar. For us, his book is also there, very important reference book. मैंने book का नाम दिया आपको. What is that? Introduction to Social Anthropology. Madan and Majumdar, he and his colleague called Madan. There is another called T.N. Madan. T.N. Madan and D.N. Majumdar both have written this book called Introduction to Social Anthropology. And Majumdar comes very handy, important in our topic 2.3. Marriage में इनका discussion आएगा. Family, marriage, सब में उनका जिक्र होगा. And next, these are my original contributions. What I started thinking, what exactly is anthropology studying? It studies humans as pre-Homo sapiens. Who are these pre-Homo sapiens? Now today we are all Homo sapiens. Before that, you just look at the syllabus. Before Homo sapiens, who are there? Cro-Magnon, Grimaldi, Chancelide are all Homo sapiens types. Today you will be first time, जो भी आपके लिए थोड़ा, आप दोनों के लिए थोड़ा tough लगेगा. But please hold on. This requires great patience. I am telling you very clearly. 2-3 दिन आपको कुछ ऐसा, you are in a very typical situation. Understand हो रहा है, understand नहीं हो रहा है. But 2-3 दिन के बाद everything is like in a superbly laid manner. It will become crystal clear. Okay? Now what is the point I am saying? We were earlier pre-Homo sapiens. See 1.6 in paper 1, you have got so many names. Australopithecus. देखो उधर underline करो. Australopithecines, Paranthropus, Homo erectus, Heidelbergensis, Neanderthal man. Okay, ब्रैकेट में जो भी है लॉश ऑपेलॉन्स उसको दखल अंदाजी दीजिए. लॉश ऑपेलॉन्स, माउंट कैरमल मैन, उसको छोड़ के देन यू कम टू अनदर पर्सन, दिस वन Rhodesian man. Later, Cro-Magnon, Grimaldi, Chancelide. Who are Cro-Magnon, Grimaldi, Chancelide? All are Homo sapiens. Recently, which were found about 30 to 40,000 years ago. See, today we are Homo sapiens, right? But लेकिन ये Homo sapiens form कब से मिल रहा था हमको? In the archaeological record, in the fossil record. The very close ancestors of ours were these people. Who are these people who lived about 30,000 to 40,000 years ago? And they were also Homo sapiens. But who are broadly these three types? Cro-Magnon, Grimaldi, Chancelide. So that means we have to study not only the pre-Homo sapiens, that is extinct, Australopithecus, Homo erectus, habilis, etc., everything, Heidelbergensis, Neanderthal man, Rhodesian man, and even this H sapiens today. And today we are extinct. Extinct matlab already extinct ho gaya. They are already gone. What is extant? Not EXTENT mat likhna. EXTENT correct hai. Yeah, this is the right. Extant matlab who are living today. Extinct already dead long back. Extant living today. So we are studying the Homo sapiens which became extinct 40,000 years ago. And today we are studying our own selves. That is Homo sapiens, extant Homo sapiens. Extinct Homo sapiens, extant Homo sapiens. Because extant Heidelbergensis बोल सकते हैं क्या? Extant Rhodesian man बोल सकते हैं क्या? Extant all that, it is not possible. Because there is no other variety. उनका कोई बचा नहीं है. Australopithecus अभी नहीं दिख रहा है हमको बाहर घूमते हुए. There were, these apes and chimpanzees are available. We can see them. But not Australopithecines. The first link between apes and man, who are that? Australopithecines. There must be some transitional form, no? जब ape से हम लोग आए, right? According to Darwin, ape से man हुआ. There must be some intermediate form. That is Australopithecine. Later, it slightly improved and became Homo habilis. Homo habilis became better and became Homo erectus. Like मैंने बोले ना 10,000 1 lakh years के बाद a new अपना आ सकता है. So Australopithecus took almost 2 million years to become H. habilis. H. habilis, the first stone tool maker. Again, that fellow became erectus. Erectus became something else. Then came sapien. Now, summary कुछ समझ में आ रहा है? Something is you're understanding. And the Homo Deus is a very interesting thing. I have put a question mark just to make things interesting, nothing to do with the actual subjects. This is slightly in addition. Have you heard this title any time? Deus matlab almost God-like. Homo as a God. Oh my God. Homo as a God. OMG. Who has used this? There is a scholar called Yuval Noah Harari who wrote this great book called Homo sapiens. आजकल का most popular modern historian in the world living today. Please write this name. It will be useful for your interview and general understanding. Yuval Noah Harari. Yuval. युवराज सिंह में युवा है ना, ये युवा और एल डालो, युवल हो गया. नोवा NOAH, नोवा हरारी, एन इजरायली हिस्टोरियन, इजरायली मॉडर्न हिस्टोरियन मतलब आजकल he still is alive. This person has written a great book called Homo sapiens. In that he calls us Homo as a god. He says we are Homo Deus because we have come up after so many challenges. If you read the first 2-3 pages itself, you will fall in love with this guy. Such a great exposition here. Like this animal-like human, how it became so great, like now inventor, discover इतना बड़ा सा world को कैसा काबू में लिया. There must be something great about him, right? Something like a godly like features. So Homo Deus बन गया. उनके नजरिया में, right? Humans have become godlike. To him, we are all godlike because we could withstand so many challenges in the evolution. I'm telling you what, this is nothing to do with anthropology. Just I have given you for your general understanding. Essay answers के लिए, general के लिए. Godlike. Not exact. अब अपना देखो, अभी बाबा है, ये लोग कौन है? ये जो बाबा है, महर्षि है, ऋषि है, साइंटिस्ट हैं. Are they not gods? Some people hail them as gods. Some people have hailed them as gods. Some अपना देखो, खुशबू है ना अपना, खुशबू सबको मालूम है कि नहीं? I don't know. Yesteryear heroine of South Indian films. She's a Punjabi basically. Became great in Tamil Nadu. Thanks to her, the love Tamil people gave her. They built a temple for her. Khushbu, aaj ki nahi, she has become veteran now. She is coming as reality judge, now reality show judge. Tamil people became so, aroused and enthusiased by her acting. Pata nahi. They have built a temple. Homo Deus. कल के दिन हम तुम्हारे में किसी को बिल्डिंग का मार के एक they may make you God also. और अपना ये मूवी देखे आप लोग, परेश रावल का ओ माय गॉड ऐसे समथिंग, उसको नो मंदिर बना देते, भगवान बना देते. उसका नाम बड़े टिपिकल रहता है यार, उसका नाम कुछ रहता है, आशाराम और समथिंग, नॉट आशाराम, some name, he becomes very famous. हाँ, कांताराम. सो कुछ तो नया नाम है. In Telugu that role was played by Venkatesh, one hero. Okay, and कांति भैया, मेहता शायद, हो सकता है, इतना ज्यादा याद नहीं है, बहुत दिन हो गया मूवी. लेकिन देखो हाउ वी कनेक्ट टू द लाइफ, एंड मूवीज आर नथिंग बट आवर रिफ्लेक्शन. दे आर लाइक मिरर्स, नो, वॉट एवर हैपेंस इन आवर लाइफ दे आर मेड इन द मूवीज. चलो, shall I go ahead? इसको रब कर देते हैं. We've got some more slides so that we can understand the subject matter. What is the subject matter of anthropology? We are continuing the same discussion. The primary aim of anthropologists is to study, okay, is to study is to study what? Uniqueness, diversity of human behavior and human societies around the world. First of all, what is so unique about humans? I told you. We are unique. Acha, do you know Carolus Linnaeus? अब शायद सुने हो in your high school biology. Carolus Linnaeus, a French botanist, French scholar, father of taxonomy. What is taxonomy? Now, earlier we have understood our name as Homo sapiens. He put Homo sapiens at the top and all other animals in the lower level. On the one hand, there is animal, the plant kingdom. Here it is animal kingdom. In animal kingdom, we are at the top. And after Homo sapiens, there is that gap. और line बाकी है. अभी journey बाकी है यार. ठीक है? And he has put all this classification. And he said at one point of time that, he was actually anti-evolutionist. He was exactly against the argument of Darwin. Darwin was saying we have evolved from animals, lower animals. And very interestingly, this fellow has put every being, living organism, in a group, classified them according to their characteristics into several branches or taxa. Very, very unfortunately, very ironically, he said, मैं evolution को मानता ही नहीं. एक हाथ से वो बोल रहा है evolution का काम ही कर रहा है वो. Actually, his taxonomical tree of life, इसको बोलते हैं ना tree of life. Somewhere it's all started like a bacteria or a unicellular organism. Then it has grown like this. This side, it has become animal plant kingdom. Here it has become animal kingdom. Again in this, see how many branches. You have seen, no? Trees going into different branches. This is called tree of life. This tree of life, and all these branches, taxa. If this branch is one taxon, singular is taxon, plural is taxa. And the study of these taxons or taxa is called taxonomy. Study of the branches into which entire life is divided. Life means including plants, including animals. In this taxonomical structure called the tree of life, Carolus Linnaeus had put humans at the top. Homo sapiens sapiens. Then what is he actually doing? He has proved that evolution has happened. But he is not, he पता नहीं church के डर से बाहर बोल नहीं रहा. That means he has also identified, he has clearly identified the uniqueness of human beings already. The other animals are also there, but they are not unique because they don't have language. Do animals have language? Have you seen animals speaking? Except in cartoons. बच्चों लोगों को बहुत अच्छा लगता है because they are in a different fantasy world. They only take non-veg. Sometimes they eat vegetarian also. Yeah, there are herbivorous animals. No. Do they talk? No. Can a chimpanzee come and give a speech like me for 2.5 hours? No. Chimpanzee can make sounds. Chimpanzee may scratch. It may howl. It may, threaten its enemy. It may share the love to its young one like we do. Because there is a great lady scholar called Jane Goodall. Have you heard about her? 2020 short notes question. Sorry, Jane Goodall. Jane Goodall and her contributions in primate behavior. That was a short note. Jane Goodall, as a British woman, has stayed in the jungles of Africa for more than 30 years. Studying for the first female and to go into jungles and stay with this. Can you imagine? अपन डरते हैं, लेकिन एक lady होके 1960s में she has gone into Eastern African jungles and stayed there, and she has said all this. Chimpanzees have anger. Chimpanzees eat non-vegetarian. They kill. They attack. They show love. They have jealousy. Females, group against the dominant male. Younger males को encourage करते हैं. A dominant male is having all the females. Every time there is a big quarrel for the females. So these females get fed up with this dominant fellow. Sir, इसका कुछ उपाय करो बोल के younger males के साथ पूरा एक क्या बोलते हैं ना, मिलजुल के they stage a small revolt against this fellow. Can you imagine? So much is happening in the animal world. So, but still, these cannot claim the culture of us, right? They are not equal to humans. So, human is unique. So, that is what we are trying to understand, the uniqueness. See, एक word में एक book भी लिख सकते हैं हम लोग, if you know the subject matter. This is the subject matter. Subject matter कब आता है? What is subject matter? You should have pages and pages, books and books, ethnographs after ethnographs. I think I have given that word to you yesterday. Ethnograph, monograph, ethnography. If somebody comes and studies another society and writes about them, it's called ethnography. Please write down. Those who have not covered that. Ethnography. Ethnography is documentaries, then books, periodicals, journals, diaries, and all the observations, studies, models, descriptions will all collectively become this much. Pura room bhi kafi nahi hoga books bhare. That is called the subject matter. Are you able to understand the words? Subject matter of anthropology. That subject matter of anthropology matlab yahi hai. It has got so much subject to study, and it will also try to understand the diversity of human behavior and human societies around the world. This world is same, or it's like a 7-colored rainbow. Can we see the world only in black and white, or we have something like a rainbow? If I ask you, how do you describe it? It's a rainbow, yeah, because there are so many cultures, so many languages, hundreds and hundreds of cultures, thousands of languages. Only in the Northeast, we have got more than 1,000 languages. Only in the Northeast. Can you imagine? And we say Northeastern people. Majority of some of the people have undergone, they've been discriminated. You know that? Only within Nagas, they have dozens of languages. Within Mizos, they have dozens of languages. And Bodos, they have dozens of languages. So, all ye dozens milke hundreds ho jate hain. And thousands of languages are there in this world. Thousands of foods are there. And different varieties of human beings, different cultures, festivals. Then anthropology is the best discipline, the only discipline which gives respect to all this diversity. Anthropologists are the only people on earth who understand, appreciate, and acknowledge the diversity. Please write down. Anthropologists are the only people in the world. Anthropologists are the only people in this world to acknowledge, understand, and appreciate the diversity. Acknowledge, understand, and appreciate the diversity in this world. Because of their experience, or due to their experience, both भी लिख सकते हैं, due to their experience of working, working with the simple societies, in all their walks of life, in all their facets of life, in all their facets, FACETS. Or you can even write dimensions. Facets के जगह dimensions भी लिख सकते हैं. In all their dimensions of life. Okay, now are you able to understand anthropology? What is anthropology? You will now at least be able to sense. Some previous year questions अगर देखोगे तो कुछ तो something I can write करके आएगा ना, confidence. So this is the subject matter of anthropology. And later it was divided. There are found fundamental similarities that link human beings across the world in both time, past and the present. Though there is a lot of diversity, but there is that fundamental link that we are all Homo sapiens. We are all common one human race. According to UNESCO, you know what is UNESCO? United Nations Educational, Social and Cultural Organization. Yeah. So it talks about societies, cultures, education. So it's more of, understanding. It is something like a body of entire humanity which understands and appreciates and acknowledges the variety of these cultures. So it's a natural body to say that, it was declared in 1952 that, look, we are all one race. There are no different races in the world. Though they say Negro race, Caucasoid race, Mongoloid race. Mongoloid मतलब वो Chinese वाले रहते हैं ना. All these people are called Mongoloid. Negroid, Negro वाले. Caucasoid, white वाले. All these European fellows, Americans. White skinned people. Broadly different races, they said. And the UNESCO said, no. There are no different races. In fact, there is one human race. There is entire world population can be brought under only one human race, and we all come from one common ancestral stock. We are only one Homo sapiens sapiens. There are no one else. So what is that? Common link. Are you getting this? And what is our DNA? I told you, if you do DNA test, blood grouping, अगर blood grouping में कितना है बताइए? पूरा ह्यूमैनिटी को अगर एक जगह डाल दिए, ब्लड सैंपल्स निकालें, कितने ब्लड ग्रुप आते हैं भाई? Thousands and lakhs. Only 4. A, B, AB, O. Broadly, this is called ABO system. There are other small systems, MNS system, etc. But they are of insignificance. And RH में भी देखो, दोनों ही टाइप है, RH positive, RH negative. There are small other alleles. They are called alleles. I'll tell you what is an allele. Sorry, when we go to chapter 9, we'll talk about alleles and all that. So, what is all humanity? Is humanity so different? बाहर से दो different दिखता है, लेकिन अंदर से एक ही है. So that is that common link. ठीक है? Next. And across, not only in the present, but also in the past. We've done that. There was one definition I gave you earlier. Anthropology is the study of humans in space and time. Anthropology, you also please write down. Anthropology is the study of humans in space and time, in both space and time. And anthropology studies humans across all times and spaces. In all places and all times. Anthropology studies humans in all places and all times. That means past also we study. Archaeology, ये सब करते हैं. ठीक है? Then Franz Boas, I told you, father of American anthropology, has divided the subject matter of anthropology. Now, what are the subject matter? What are the different divisions? 4 divisions. 4 major divisions. Again, go to 1.3. You might have visited 1.3 the most, no? Since the last 3 days, the most visited the chapter is 1.3. Because it is the subject matter पूरा वहीं छुपा है. 1.3 A, B, C, D. 1.3 A, B, C, D. कौन divide किया इसको? Franz Boas. This is the man who has divided the entire subject matter of anthropology into 4 disciplines or 4 major divisions. 1, 2, 3, 4. What are these? Social, cultural, biological or physical, then archaeological, then linguistic anthropology. Applied has developed later. Franz Boas never divided. He is already dead by the time. 1942, I think he has died. But I told you, after the Second World War, the applied part got added. So by the time he was dead, only 4 subdisciplines major divisions were there. Later applied anthropology got added. ठीक है, यहां तक हो गया? Clear? चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. And why we must study anthropology? Because it is relevant. It's based on nature of anthropology. Why we must study anthropology? मैंने first दिन में बताया. First of all, you have to understand yourself as a human being with all the important ideas about the culture. Okay, we have to study first of all ourselves better. We understand ourselves better. Understand is automatically, you can take it as granted. Understand is automatically दिखता है, right? We want to understand ourselves better. Ourselves मतलब क्या है? Again, our culture, our past, our body, our biology, our evolution, our societies, our cultures better. Our मतलब not our only. The side वाला, आगे वाला, पीछे वाला. There is a saying in the Bible, love thy neighbor. काय को बोले होंगे बताओ? लव दाई नबर नॉट पीछे वाले आगे वाली लड़की या लड़का, वो नहीं होता है. लव दाई नबर मतलब कौन है? Everybody whosoever is around you, you have to take them along just to share your good things. They will also share you. There is a saying in our language, my language, Telugu, which says, अगर तेरा मुंह सीधा होता तो पूरा ये जो विलेज होता है ना, that is also सीधा होता. अगर तेरा मुंह टेढ़ा होता, अब तेलुगु वाला हूं, लेकिन बढ़िया सा हिंदी बात कर लेता हूं. अच्छा है ना मेरा हिंदी, उतना बुरा तो नहीं है. सो क्या बोल रहा था मैं? इफ योर टंग इज, दैट मीन्स तुम्हारी बोली जो है, इट इज गुड, एंटायर विलेज इज गुड. इफ यहाँ कुछ गड़बड़ी है, टेढ़ा है, तो पूरा मोहल्ला या पूरा विलेज आपके अगेंस्ट हो जाता है. राइट और रॉन्ग? अब देखिए झगड़े होते हैं. सो इट इज अबाउट अवरसेल्स मतलब साइड वाला, पीछे वाला, आगे वाला, दैट लैंग्वेज पर्सन, दिस लैंग्वेज पर्सन, दिस culture person, that culture person. In fact, anthropology is a study of what? You can add another definition. It is a study of a book written by John Beatty. John Beatty एक book लिखे, मैंने बताया ना आपस दिन. अगर हमारे कल्चर को स्टडी किया तो क्या खासियत है? We know that. If I ask you to write a small note on your own culture, you can write, no? Without much fuss, we'll write your festival, your food, everything. इतना 10-20 पेज हो जाएगा minimum. But if I ask you to write his culture, because you don't even know what exactly is that, बाहर का तो 2-3 लाइन लिख सकते हो बस. Why we should understand that culture? Is there any, अगर कुछ आफत आन पड़ती है क्या? If we don't do that, will the hell break loose and fall on your head? No, but in fact, it is highly necessary. If you understand the other better, that person will understand you better. We together understand ourselves better. Okay, कौन है? ये कैरेक्टर 2 ही है, लेकिन तीसरा कैरेक्टर भी आ गया, our. You, me and our. Because when people, quarrel, conflicts जो होते हैं ना, आजकल क्या है? See, once you become IAS officers, what are your duties? देखो, suddenly ये हो गया, communal clash हो गया, या कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया, villagers attacked, रास्ता रोके हो गया, farmers, होता है ना, गड़बड़ी बहुत होती है. And who is in charge? कोई lower clerk को भेजते हैं क्या आप? Okay, clerk को जाके do something and come, that fellow will, tremble. ऐसा शेक होता है उसको. As a person with full base, you go there and pacify these people, talk to them, understand them. इतना भी होना, 1000 भी होने दो, like our RRR में रामचरण, इतना ज्यादा नहीं, लेकिन थोड़ा, you will go and at least stave them off. You prevent a big conflict or a small conflict snowballing into major controls. On what basis you can do all that? If you understand yourself better, understand others better. If you listen to the other person, what he is to say, then half of the problem is solved. But अक्सर हम सुनते हैं क्या? दूसरों को सुनते हैं? नहीं. So anthropology is to be taught for everyone, right? And of course, the very nature of anthropology is like that. It tries to take in something called as cultural relativism. There is a doctrine. Go to chapter 2.1. You will find this. We spoke about this, right, already. Cultural relativism. By saying cultural relativism, that means we are all we say all the cultures are unique. No culture is superior. No culture is inferior. Correct? My culture is unique. Your culture is unique. मेरा बड़ा नहीं, तुम्हारा छोटा नहीं, तुम्हारा बड़ा नहीं, मेरा छोटा नहीं. अगर छोटा बड़े का डिस्कशन आ गया, छोटा बड़ा डिस्कशन आ गया, क्या होगा? कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होएगा, सर फोड़ेंगे, सिरा फोड़ेंगे. हमारे हैदराबादी हिंदी में बोलते हैं सिरा फोड़ेंगे, सरा बोलते हैं. So this is how. What is this? I think we have reached the maximum number of pages. Yeah, see कैसा टेलर में क्या exactly 2 घंटे का लेक्चर, almost 2.5 घंटे का लेक्चर हो गया. So on this note we'll end the class. So now you have known what is exactly anthropology. So in the next class tomorrow we'll start with a very beautiful topic, marriage. सबको जो उत्सुकता होता है, एक ग्रेट स्कॉलर ने बताया, On this note, I'll end the class. अब बाद में बात करना, 2 सेकंड. Marriage, it seems, is a big room, right? A big room wherein everybody is inside. मेरे को यही आता है, आदमी को अब नक्शा है था ऐसे ही बनाता. On there is a door for this, and there are people waiting outside. And it seems everybody inside the room wants to come out, and everybody outside wants to go in. ये काय को होता है, किस लिए होता है, इसका क्या बोलते हैं, पूरा कहानी हम कल के दिन देखेंगे. कल से एक्चुअल टॉपिक स्टार्ट. दिस इज इंट्रोडक्शन टू एंथ्रोपोलॉजी टुडे, एंटायर आइडिया. देन टुमारो ऑनवर्ड्स एक्चुअल एंथ्रोपोलॉजी में डुबकी लेंगे हम लोग. बहुत मजा आएगा. देयर इज एन एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी टॉपिक, टाइप्स ऑफ मैरिज. There are some very typical type of relationships we can't even digest, that I can tell you, give it in writing. You can't even imagine. You say, oh my God, yuck. कभी yuck भी बोलते हो, लेकिन yuck एंथ्रोपोलॉजिस्ट के लिए yuck नहीं है. ठीक है भाई, चलो को बोलो, मैं लिख लेता हूँ. इसको कोई नहीं, कुछ भी होने दो. ओके, राइट, टेल, I'll write. This is anthropologist, real anthropologist. Okay, all the best. Take care. We'll dismiss. मैं डिक्टेशन भी देता हूँ, पॉइंट्स भी रहेंगे, हैंडआउट्स भी मिलेगा, सब. डिक्टेशन तो मजेदार की चीज है, सबसे बड़ा. लेकिन डिक्टेशन विल नॉट ऑक्यूपाई द एंटायर क्लास. नो, a part maybe for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, or half an hour maximum. Rest of the classes will be orally. Anyhow, luckily you have these recordings available. ये बड़ी बात होगी ना, कहीं और नहीं मिलता ऐसा.